Welcome everyone to round 2 of the Iracing.com V8 Supercar official online series presented by Big Pond Sport. Whoops, that's wrong. Presented by Direct Clutch Services, Extreme Sim Gear and V8 Supercar Fan Group. Jay Kennedy saying the wrong things. Stephen Sandman Clark, save me, buddy.
G'day, Jay. Hello, everyone.
Yeah, welcome to round 2 at Oran Park. We're very excited to be here at the famous Oran Park circuit. Joining us for a hot lap tonight, Scott McLaughlin. Fresh from having his new car released today. Scotty, welcome along.
Hey boys, how you going? Nothing like a bit of iRacing before you go testing?
Yeah, big week for you this week.
Yep. We head to Winton tomorrow morning and test our new car of the future, and then head to Sydney on Saturday. So it's pretty busy week for me. Yeah, like you said.
Pretty exciting, mate. That, like we said, you unveiled the beast today, and tell you what, the new Commodore, the VF Commodore, looks a treat.
Yeah, it looks wicked. You know, I obviously saw it a little bit a couple of weeks ago and couldn't believe what it's going to look like, and the end package is pretty awesome too. So, you know, looking forward to you know, racing it and having a bit of fun.
Speaking of fun, how much fun are you having driving around at Oran Park?
When I'm not crashing, I'm going pretty good. So hopefully I don't crash on this lap. But it's a good circuit. And I never got to race a car here, but I got to race go-kart actually around the circuit where I'm going past now. So it's yeah, pretty close to that.
It's a tricky little racetrack for people who may not have done many laps around here for iRacing. Certainly turn 1, 2 sort of gets your attention trying to pull it up.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I went off there in the last race, so I've just got to pull it back a little bit. But you know, it serves you right for not doing any practice. So it's a good little circuit and real challenging, especially to look after the tyres. So you just got to watch that.
You got to conserve a tiny little bit of fuel as well, or some drivers do. Scott, do you have to worry about fuel?
No, I didn't have to at all. I just drove as hard as I could, but yeah, you're always watching it. But yeah.
Well, talk us through a lap, mate.
Our quality lap, we try and get a wide entry before trying to get a good exit onto the main straight, which is quite bumpy. You can try and stick to the right side of the road as you pluck the sixth. Just at the end of this wall, brake. I normally go down 2 gears, down to second. For turn 2, like you said, Sandman, real hard and to pull up and get in. Easy on the tyres, then braking in the end of this curb. Second down again. Be real easy. Get off camber a little bit too, so it's hard to put the power down. This corner, you just try and get as good a run as you can over the top of the bridge. Third gear. Nice and easy on the tyres. Really got this section's really all about blowing the car throughout, braking, grab a little bit of curb there, all third gear through that section. Coolest part of the track right now. Got to be a little bit concentrated and down to second, so it's a quick lap, but and it's very important for your exit, for your time at the end of it, but pretty cool little track. Something that I really enjoy.
Not a bad lap, 1:07.
Yeah, I nearly spare it off.
How have you found it, mate? It's probably hard, you know, like you said, you've been busy all week, you know, you've got to take off tomorrow to Winton, but you haven't had all that much track time as far as qualifying. I believe you only qualified not long ago, is that right?
Yeah, I'm not going to qualify again either. I just want to focus on a race setup, which I'm running now, so I just want to see how that goes. And you know, it's all a bit of fun this season. Obviously, I'm very busy with what I'm lucky to be able to be doing, and yeah, it's just having a bit of fun and see what I can do on race nights.
Now, speaking of the new car, you are obviously very, very proud of the new look of the new car for this season.
Yeah, I reckon it's pretty cool. I reckon personally it's one of the best Fujitsu liveries that they've released, so you know, it's good to be a part of that, and good to be a part of the team that actually showed off their VF for the first time as well, so pretty cool, and it's all looking pretty good for 2013.
You know, it's definitely shaping up for a good year for you. All the best for it too, mate. And we're pretty big supporters of yours, so good luck for this season.
Yeah, thanks, man. It'll be good fun.
All the best in the race, mate. We'll talk to you a little bit later on.
Yeah, sweet. No worries, man.
Nice little bit of sideways action there just to finish it off for us. That was good.
Oh, was that on the...
Yeah, we got it.
Are you still live?
We sure are, mate.
Oh,
It's always good to show off a little bit though, mate.
Alright, we'll let you go now.
yeah. See ya.
Oh, that was rather interesting.
That was good. I like that.
Well, we'll have to do that one more often, not let people realise we're still live. So, Oran Park Raceway, 2.6 k's in length, 12 turns, and of course, sadly, no longer with us. But it's fantastic that iRacing's been able to recreate such an iconic track. Jeez, I'm doing really well tonight. An iconic track for Australian motorsport fans.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Obviously everyone was a little bit disheartened when we found out that they were going to bulldoze the joint, and I think currently now they're building houses there exactly where the land is now. So, but it's sensational to know that iRacing have recreated it, within sort of inch perfect, and it'll be with us forever. So that's brilliant.
Yeah, I've been absolutely amazed at how good it looks, and I'm struggling to drive there, but it still looks amazing. So if you haven't checked it out yet on iracing.com service, check it out. It's a fantastic little track, and one that probably the best way that we can remember Oran Park as it actually was.
And it's a bit of a teaser, isn't it, in as many aspects, because, you look at how good they've done. They've done such a brilliant job on Oran Park, and just, earlier through the week, they've released a couple of more images from Mount Panorama, and, how exciting is that going to be to know that they've, recreated that, and we're going to have all that, shortly all in our living rooms or where we do our racing, which is just brilliant.
Yeah, fingers crossed they'll have it ready for us right before the Bathurst 1000, so we'll actually be able to, fingers crossed, be able to do our own Bathurst 1000 before the real deal.
That'll be sensational.
Fingers crossed. Now, we're not far away from qualifying, the final qualifying session for round 2 of the championship. Currently, pole position is Madison Down,
My mind
leading
is
the
always searching.
championship
While
after the
some
win
just
last
accept
week.
what they're told.
But he's only got about a tenth of a second over Richard Hampstead in second. Qualifying time's very, very close this week as well.
Yeah, it's been really good. I've kept a close eye on qualifying through the week, and to see those times that the guys have laid down, pretty impressive. And obviously the first and only guy in the fives at the moment. He's only just snuck in there, but great times. It'll be interesting to see if anyone's got anything else in this next session.
Yeah, so down with a 1 minute 5.905. Hampstead a 1:00.12. Then it's Muggleton, Ruggier, Maris, Riches, Fabian, Anton De Pasquale, Scott McLaughlin, and Paul Gallen. So a few different names up the front, and I see number 11, Stephen Clark, Sandman, doing very well as well. So quite a few names that are up near the front that we wouldn't normally see up there. So it's definitely mixed up the field this week.
Yeah, and maybe that has a little bit to do with, obviously not a lot of people have done many laps around Oran Park, so it does sort of level the playing field a little bit. I mean, it was part of the championship last season, but due to holidays and that this time of year, not many people ran it, so it has leveled the playing field, and everyone's probably still getting used to the different feel of the Falcon as well.
Yeah, it's a very different feel, especially comparing the car feel last week to this week. Feel the bumps a lot more. The off-camber corners, as Scott just mentioned, definitely changes the whole aspect of the track. So we should see a rather interesting and close race tonight. Tough to get a pass made at this track. So probably we'll see a lot of mistakes and a lot of cars running off at turn 1 as well.
And you're touching on that. We touched a little bit in qualifying. The hot lap with Scotty as well. It's so difficult sometimes to get the car to pull up because you're hard on the brakes, you're full noise into that section, turn 1 and 2, and to pull it up while you're sort of turning to get round the corner at the same time can be quite difficult. And even some of the best have gone off at turn 1. So yeah, fingers crossed, everyone sort of has a pretty good race.
You're meaning us too, Sam, man?
I wasn't going to bring it up.
Oh, I knew you were. Thanks, mate. I feel like I'm one of the club now.
Hey, I kissed those tyres in the earlier race, so I wasn't real proud of that. But
I think a lot of people did in that early race too. So we'll see a lot of crashing in that turn 1. Remind everyone. And don't forget, over the next couple of weeks, coming up very, very soon, keep your eyes on the V8 Supercar Fan Group cars. Whoops, did I say that out loud? I didn't say that. That's a secret. There you go. There's a special hint. For a special entry into a special competition, you'll get more details about it in the coming weeks. But keep your eyes on the cars for something. I'm going to say much more. Something.
For something. Yeah, no, it's an interesting, fantastic competition in partnership with V8 Supercar Fan Group. Some really exciting things coming, with V8 Supercar Fan Group and v8sonline in the coming weeks, and a great little competition. I'm a little bit disappointed I can't enter myself. I'm quite excited for everyone else out there.
We haven't quite written the rules yet, so maybe we can. No.
Yeah, it wouldn't look very good.
No, definitely not. Also, in the coming weeks as well, we'll have some new software that we'll be able to broadcast from as well. So we'll let you know all about that in the coming weeks. Fingers crossed we'll launch that for round 4, which will enable us to broadcast in high definition.
Yep, some exciting times. A big thanks to Seb behind the scenes too. He's been working incredibly hard throughout the week, just trying to iron a couple of little bugs. We did a bit of a broadcast of the Grand Am series through the week, and I think we're slowly getting there. And once we get it all ironed out, our broadcasts are going to look better than ever. So yeah, stick around. It's going to be brilliant.
Exciting times ahead. Also, we're looking forward. Hopefully, fingers crossed, be bringing some more series the v8sonline brand as well. So that's all coming in the future, and we're quite excited about where v8sonline are heading. Big thanks to V8 Supercar Fan Group for all their help in supporting us as well. We're not far away from qualifying, the final qualifying session, only seconds away actually, so we'll get some pictures through very, very soon. Final 20-minute session. Apologies about the on-screen graphics tonight. We're having a few issues with the graphics. They're not working as good as they should, so our apologies about that, but we should have that all fixed for next week as well. Sorry, Sam.
No, that's all right. I was just going to say I'm interested to see if anyone actually does decide to go a bit quicker or works on car setup. We, touched a little bit that it's somewhat of a fuel-saving race. It depends on what part of the grid you're in. I think if the fast guys up front do have to save a little bit, but the mid-pack and probably guys towards the tail end of the field probably can afford to go flat stick. That's how close it is as far as saving fuel.
Yeah, the guys that are up the front or are going to have a bit of clean track save maybe 4 or 5 litres of fuel, so it's not a big amount at all. Interesting with this qualifying session, we've said how short a track Oran Park is, and we've seen in the past how busy the track can be in qualifying. We've got a full 25 cars out for qualifying in this 20-minute session we're about to join. So it's definitely going to be hectic.
Yeah, you're not wrong. It makes it really tough when especially if you haven't had much of a chance to qualify through the week. If you're sort of leaving it till the last minute, it really becomes quite difficult just to get that clear track, because it can be quite distracting. Even though you've got maybe a fast car in front of you when you're qualifying, it does sort of become a little bit distracting just to have that car in front of you. It's nice to have clear space.
Currently P4 at the moment, Justin Ruggier, looking to improve on his time. His best lap is only 0.2 of a second away from Qual. The top 4 separated by 0.2 at the moment. Nice and close.
Oh, how good is that? 0.2, that's nothing. That's all about pretty much throttle application out of the last turn. If you're pretty much on it for that lap, and if you can just sneak on the throttle without the rear end brake and loose coming out of that last turn, that's your 0.2. So that's how close it is.
He's just lost a little bit of time lost there. He's continuing on though, so he mustn't have felt like it's cost him too much. Cal Watmore, the first driver to post a competitive time, a 107.4. No, too much wheel spin coming out of the corner. To go to Scott McLaughlin, said he wasn't going to qualifying, but here he is in qualifying.
Yeah, maybe he touched a little bit that he was pretty keen to just sort of get a feel for the race car. So maybe he's just got his race set in, full set of fuel, and you know, you may find where he may just do lap after lap just in this session to get a good feel for the car. A
good chance to do some work in traffic as well. It's hard to sometimes find a bit of traffic to weave yourself around. We go to Madison Down, starting his hot lap. Using all of that, using all of that ripple strip.
Yeah, great minds think alike, mate. I was just watching that, seeing how close that right front of his gets to the dirt there, but he did a good job.
I think Madison might actually be doing a fuel run, a race run, because this is actually his second lap, which is something we don't see drivers do when they're on their hot lap, is go for a second lap. Go to Josh Muggleton. Just warming up, starting his hot lap very, very soon. Currently P3, 106.174. As we said, he's only 2/10 away as well.
Yeah, he's been pretty happy with the car. I was speaking to him off air earlier this afternoon, and he made a couple of changes for his setup, and he was actually quite pleased with it, and didn't have much luck in the earlier qualifying session due to traffic, so I think he's quite confident he may be able to improve a little bit. We'll just have to wait and see.
That was about as committed as he could be through turn 1 and into turn 2. Right, coming up on a bit of traffic, but they'll get out of his way. Oh, it's probably a bit too much of a drift there, I think.
Yeah, for people who may not know, these guys will have a little bit of a tracker or a worm, whatever you may want to call it, and it'll let them know red or green how their sectors are going. So Muggo no doubt will have those displays up and sort of press on if he feels he needs to, but that lap's shot now.
Yep,
so
that's gone.
You see, yeah, it's exactly. He'll pull off now and start again. But yeah, all these guys have got a bit of heads-up telemetry just to give them a good feel about how their lap's going.
Yeah, he's a name we haven't seen in the series for a little while. Trying to find him on track at the moment, Chris Tarrant.
Yeah, he's getting
just finished his lap.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. Good to see Chris back out on track in the Direct Clutch Services Falcon. New look for that car, new look for that team.
It's a nice touch. They've just tweaked the livery a little bit there, and yeah, Chris has been a busy boy with Race of Champions, and no doubt he's going to be busy again with Race of Champions not all that far away again. So it's good to see him back in the V8.
Don't tell him that, he'll cry if you say it's not far away. Got Cal Watmore in the TTR Falcon. Coming into the final corner. The other guys have been tweaking their setups as well. They've got, as we said, save a tiny little bit of fuel, some of the drivers anyway. Not all, some. Which actually probably makes it a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, actually, I'm not as a driver, I'm probably not much of a fan of fuel-saving races, so I was a bit disappointed when I found out that it could have been a fuel-saver race, but depending on how you're driving and your laps and everything that you put down, I found myself in the earlier race, I didn't really have to save much fuel at all, so that sort of worked out in my favour. It pays off being slow, actually.
Muggleton again, starting flying lap. We're almost halfway through this session already. Muggleton fastest time in this session so far, 1 minute 6.380.
Car looks good at the moment. I keep watching his tyres in reference to the inside of the turn, and very smooth, it's not jittery, it's not sideways, and it's looking quite good at the moment.
Yeah, it's nice and smooth, so we often say sometimes looking slow is actually the quickest way, so This lap looks pretty good, nice and controlled, nice and smooth. Right on cue, he gets a bit of a drift. 3 wheels over the flip-flop.
Oh, he's missed his apex a little bit there. Pulls it in actually, so it'll be interesting to see. Oh, there he goes. So unfortunately, just missed his apex coming in that last turn. So.
Sorry, Mogo, I've ruined your lap again. Justin Ruggies actually improved his time for the week while we were watching that lap with Muggleton. He'll actually gain a position over Muggleton. He's only now 5/100ths of a second away from P2, which is Richard Hampstead.
That's incredibly close, isn't it? That's literally nothing in it. It's so good to see that they're having a red hot go, and he's trying his hardest, so it's a great time. So he knows there's still more in it. Madison down on screen in tats.com Falcon, just a little bit sideways over the hill there, but that's a given pretty much at this racetrack. You always tend to get a little bit of air and sideways and he crosses the line. No, must be starting his hot lap.
Yeah, I think he's actually on a fuel run at the moment. He's actually just done 3 laps in a row, so trying to work out his fuel numbers to see how much he can push in the race and work out whether he can push earlier than maybe he has before. So a little bit of tech
It's interesting, the fuel numbers game, because up until I joined TTR, it wasn't something that I paid too much attention to. I just sort of went into a race, looked at how much fuel I had and just sort of I winged it. But there's really good software out there that you can sort of tap into and check out your fuel numbers, and it's a really, really helpful key, and it's something that it's playing a big part for me personally at TTR.
Yeah, a lot of guys use their mobile phones, their smartphones as a dash, which gives you the fuel readouts and things like that, which I think is fantastic that you can use something as simple as your mobile phone for something as clever as your telemetry and your fuel burn.
And it can be such a huge advantage too, just knowing your numbers to the, to what, like 0.01 of a litre in your tank. It's just brilliant. So no doubt these guys will be using that and having that as a huge key for tonight.
On board now with Chris Tarrant in the Direct Clutch Services Dream Sim Gear Falcon. You can't see the apex coming up over the hill. The car just wants to launch. Fantastic coming through the flip-flop there. It's really fun part of the track. You've got to be committed to get a fast time. You've got to use the trees in the background to work out where the apex is.
Oh, it's a difficult part of the track too. I was just watching him come through there. Where people rejoin the racetrack on pit exit, it's probably one of the worst spots you could put pit exit, just because you're carrying so much speed into that turn.
Down to Matthew Barron about to finish his flying lap. This is the line of 107.7. Hasn't had a lot of practice this week. I think this is actually using this as a practice session. We go to Justin Ruggier starting his hot lap.
Interesting to note he's only really put down one time for the session so far, and that time was his fastest for the week. So no doubt fairly comfortable with the car, and he's having a red hot go now.
Yeah, looking at him in comparison to the other guys, turn 1 he's probably taking a little bit more curb than a lot of the other guys. So something, I don't know if you've noticed, Sam, but he's really aggressive through turn 1.
Yeah, that's brave. He's obviously, that shows a bit of confidence in his car actually, because I know myself personally, if I grab too much curve, it did unsettle the front a little bit and sort of caused the car to bounce before I got the car to settle into the second part of the turn. So obviously not now, he's going to abort that lap, but yeah, obviously fairly confident with his front end through that turn.
McLaughlin Still doing fuel run at the moment, or a race run. We're tweaking his race setup. Trying to work out what he can do to improve the car to get him a bit more speed. Very busy racetrack out there at the moment.
Yeah, it's funny, I was just looking at how many cars are on track. It's really hard to get just a piece of real estate all to yourself just to get on with the job, but so far so good.
But Rob Hartley just starting his hot lap. He's got to tuck in behind Madison Down, and Madison on fuel runs. I'm not sure whether Rob's going to get balked here and have his lap ruined. Currently 6th in the session, Hartley. 20th for the week, his best lap of 106.997. That's his target at the moment, to improve on a 106.9.
He might be able to benefit from the tyre straight